Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, August 25th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. This price you see over here will be changing as I talk along the candlestick right there. It'll be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, DRUG, which is a very interesting situation because it gapped up this morning, which you can see right there, and has now pulled back. It is now just going sideways, but volume has gotten essentially, almost disappeared, which presents a very, like I said, interesting set of circumstances, which is the idea of a watch list. A watch list is you find unique, you find interesting situations, and not just rush out and buy anything, but watch it and see if it ultimately does behave in a manner that fits your personal strategy and risk tolerance. So for this one, like I said, nothing is being suggesting that you just randomly rush out and buy right now. But as far as, potential breakout areas, so if you like to play breakouts on that 250 mark, certainly a very interesting area. You can see right here from yesterday is where the price was rejected. And then right there from earlier this morning, price was rejected. So while there are no guarantees, my point here is it's valid. It's at least rational to think that if the price can make a very, which would be an impressive recovery and then break up through that level right there, that break in and of itself could create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. In terms of levels of support, two main levels that stand out. Initial level right here, the bottom part of the consolidation right here at $1.83. And if that doesn't quite hold up, then would not be shocking at all to see the price potentially head down there near that gap close location at $1.45. But overall, like I said, kind of a little holding pattern right now. Does it actually want to, head back upwards? Maybe not. But if it does, then that could definitely show some signs of momentum. Next one here, BBBY. Maybe, just maybe, this thing's trying to come back to life again. Actually going to get rid of these levels here. And I just want to focus on today's pattern. Same general premise of what we just looked at here with DRUG, so I don't want to repeat myself too much, but gap up, price came down. So at this point during the day, it was a big question of, okay, was this just a gap and trap? Is that thing just going to, go right back to where it started and destroy everybody? And we got our answer. No, it wasn't a gap and trap because at least the price leveled off. Now, just because it leveled off does not mean that for sure guaranteed it's headed higher. But my point here is it becomes a lot more rational now to throw out the question, okay, maybe, just maybe this pullback is over and maybe, just maybe this thing is getting ready to make a stronger move back to the upside, which is why in my mind the level that a whole lot of people are going to be watching right there at $10.50, which you can see right now has been the rejection point on two separate occasions. So guarantees, no. Valid to think that if the price comes up here and pushes up through that level, that could ignite and create more upside buying pressure. That's absolutely a valid thought process to have. Next, NERV. Beautiful move today, and a beautiful pattern here is now formed. So let's just get this pattern into play. And let me be very clear. Me drawing this pattern is not me trying to impress you, not trying to imply that this is some sort of great discovery or anything like that. I assure you, a lot of people have noticed this pattern and a lot of people are watching. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same pattern and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So as far as this pattern is concerned, let's just make it one color. So we have the red line up there, which is resistance. We have the green line, which is support. Then we had the big momentum move right there. And to make it that much more visual, let's put in a golf hole down here. So this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. And again, I'm sure a lot of people are watching this level, which guarantees nothing, but it's very, very valid to think, very plausible that if the price can recover up to the top of that pattern and get a break up through it, that break could very well create additional buying pressure. So if you like to play bull pennants, if you like to play stocks down below the $10 mark, then I definitely keep a close eye on it. Next one, AMC, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the video previously, but I put in that trend line right here, which continues to, be a thorn in the side of the bulls. Every time the price tried to bounce, you can see right there, rejected, and then today bounced, rejected. But the good news is, and what makes this a very interesting setup and situation headed into Thursday, is that check out where the lows have been today. We had a set of lows right here earlier on in the day, and then you had another little pullback, but that pullback only went right there. So you do have a couple of stair steps headed in the upwards direction. Does that mean that, okay, this trend line here is officially going to be broken? Of course not. But does it become a bit more valid to think that the trend line has a better chance of being broken? Absolutely. And once again, one of those areas where I'm sure a lot of people are watching that general area right there at the trend line. So if the price can push up through there, then you got to think that there's some great upside buying pressure potential. If the price does roll back over, then nothing fancy or complicated here. Literally just a question of where do the bleeding stop today? And that was down there at $9.25. So keep a close eye on that. But those higher lows right there do present an interesting situation. We'll see if that does offer up enough of a leading indicator to push up through that trend line on Thursday. Next one, SOFI, and nice strong start to the day, but then did get the pullback here, which is where I want to get this trend line. Actually, okay. I didn't realize that, but it actually is now starting to push through that trend line, which changes the premise here a little bit, because now we can throw out the question, okay, price breaking that trend line, is this the start of something bigger? Now, that may sound kind of like an anticlimactic question, but think about it. What has had to happen in order for me to even ask that question? Well, something worthwhile. And what is the worthwhile event that's occurred? Well, the price is actually up above this trend line. To be fair, maybe it's not the start of something bigger. Maybe this price just rolls back over. But that's a two-sided coin, because, well, maybe this breakout and maybe this movement above the trend line is the start of something bigger, and this thing picks up that much more momentum over the next couple of days. So from that dynamic, a very interesting situation there. Let's see if this trend line break is going to, be some sort of step in the direction of getting this thing to make another push back up to where it was. As far as levels of support are concerned, if you're looking to play the pullback, two different choices here that you can keep an eye on, although they're essentially the same. I was going to say choice number one is that purple line there, which is valued at 628, but only 8 cents down below is then, or not even 8 cents down below. What is that area right there? Yeah, then the gap close location at 625. So 3 cents below, you have a couple of those areas. So let's just call it 625 as that main area of support if the price does pull back some more. But yeah, as of right now, the price is actually up above that trend line. Is this the start of a bigger breakout? Let's see what happens. Real quickly, wanted to pause and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen, you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, and why it's just so powerful in helping us as traders to build consistency, then certainly get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the page that you can click to get signed up. So by all means, if you've been enjoying what you've seen, definitely get signed up for the free training. Next one here, PTON, just when it was looking like maybe game over. Very, very impressive move today. I mean, check out the volume, absolutely gigantic volume, so you can't complain about that. And now you have some nice late day action here. So again, as I speak, that's why I like to do this, because check out this green candle that's forming. In fact, let's zoom in here a little bit so you can see it that much better. So as I speak, this green candle is trying to return up to highs, which brings up the first key dynamic here, is this trend line right there, which has done a good job of forecasting where those resistance levels have been. So headed into Thursday, let's just call it right up around 1385 being that key breakout point, which again is being derived from this trend line, which you can see reject, 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 reject. So not saying that the price can't break through that level, but just apparently, if the price is going to, it's going to really need to bring it to A game. So 1385 going to be that initial level of resistance if this continues up. As far as levels of support are concerned on any sort of pullback, first key level to keep an eye on from more of an overarching standpoint right there at $12.75. And then if you want to get extra greedy, and I say greedy just because it would take quite a bit for the price to drop all the way down there. So you could potentially miss a trade if you're waiting for the price to get all the way down to that pink line there, 200 period moving average, which is at 12.15. So 12.75 and then 12.15 main levels of support. If the price does break up through that, 12.85 marked at the next key overarching level of resistance up there right around $14.35. But yeah, no doubt about it. Huge movement today, huge volume. So let's see if this momentum carries over into Thursday. Next one, AVYA. Very, very impressive move today, mainly this afternoon, because this morning price actually gapped down. Not a whole lot was going on with the lower volume. And then you can see right there, volume really kicked it into another level, and the price reacted accordingly. And so much so that it came up and actually broke through this area of resistance that I talked about in yesterday's video, which was coming from this rejection point there, and then from where it was rejected on Tuesday. But overall, just a monster move, and updates need to be done. First key update based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So now moving forward, won't make the chart look the absolute best if the price can stay above $1.20. Now, let me be very clear. If the price drops below $1.20, I'm not saying the entire chart's destroyed. But yeah, if the price could stay above $1.20, that would certainly make the chart look very, very attractive moving forward. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy here. Just a question of where did the party and momentum finally stop today? And that was right up there at $1.35. So $1.35 will be that newest area of resistance. But yeah, all in all, can't really ask for a better day here. Got them moved back up, shattered that area of resistance. And now let's see if this momentum carries into Thursday. Next one here, Tsla Tesla. Friendly reminder, this one will split. So everything remains the same chart-wise, proportions and patterns and all that. It'll just be at a different price. So everything I talk about here will still be relevant. Just the pricing levels will be off, which is why I'm not going to necessarily mention pricing levels here, because I'm not going to do the math and I don't know what those are exactly going to be. But just from an overarching standpoint and pattern perspective, key level to watch moving into Thursday here, going to be that resistance trend line right there. I think that's probably one of those self-fulfilling prophecy points where a lot of people are watching that level. So as a reminder, does that guarantee anything? No, but does it make sense? Is it valid to think that if the price comes up there and pushes up through with it, that break in and of itself could create some good solid buying pressure? Yeah, in my mind, I think that's a valid scenario to play out. In terms of levels of support, I'm just going to go ahead. And actually, no, I want to leave this one down here because I think it could still come into play at that level, which again is at 880 right now, but I don't know exactly what that price level will be moving into after the split. And then the other level to watch down there, that 50 paired moving average, purple line right there. But yeah, overall today, pretty rough day. I mean, very, very strong opening 30 minutes. But then after that, things just basically, rolled back over. So we'll see if this rollback carries into Thursday or not. Next one, AMD. Not a whole lot of new things to report since the last time I did it, other than the fact of there's just going to be that many more eyeballs watching these levels because these levels stand out that much more, especially after today. So I put in the red and green lines here previously, but you can see that down here at $91 was tested as support, and give credit where credit's due, it held. Had a nice bounce, and generally speaking, got rejected right there, right around that top part of the channel, which I've talked about before. So point here being, you're going to have that many more people now noticing these couple levels right there, which brings about, once again, the talking point of self-fulfilling prophecies, which I'm not going to say all again because you now understand that. But we'll just call them the self-fulfilling prophecy points moving forward as a support down there at 91, as a resistance up there at 93.75, but very, very well defined and that much more defined after today. So in my mind, very rational to think that if either one of these levels is broken, that could certainly ignite some further buying or selling. Next one, SQQQ, which is an ETF, and it's a way for you to make money if you think that the NASDAQ, the QQQ, is going to go down. So if you think the Qs are going to go down, one way you can make money from that is by buying SQQQ, which does suggest that maybe the Qs are getting ready to go down, because talk about a very, very nice pattern here. So you have this breakout point right up there at the $40 mark. You have a nice trend line right here. So let me again change that to green to represent more so the bullish attribute of things. But you have yourself just a nice solid little upwards wedge right here. And the wedge is occurring in a bullish trend right now. The bullish trend being represented by the fact that not only has a golden cross taking place right there, but that purple line, the 50 period moving average, continues to have a nice strong upward slope to it. So let me be very clear. Just because there's a bullish pattern in a bullish trend does not guarantee that the price is going to break up through $40. I'm just saying, once again, is it a plausible thought process to have? But that is the idea of a watch list. Not to randomly rush out and start buying stuff, but to observe and watch it. So if you do like to play breakouts, if you like to play the SQQQ, then you can keep an eye on this one with that $40 mark, because for sure guaranteed, that is one of those self-fulfilling prophecy points, meaning a lot of other people are going to be watching that. So that by no means is some sort of great or secret discovery on my end. So yeah, let's see if this wedge can eventually work its way back up to the $40 and get the break. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool and how it can and should be used, then certainly get signed up for the free training. Like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, August 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully I'll see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, do a couple things for me. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Have a good one.